Paul, didn't Hawaiian shirts go out of style? Well, like, yeah, I don't see a lot of people wearing them. Oh, okay. It's a uniform. I get it, but whoa, okay. It's not your style, but it's your store's brand. Plus, it makes you look cool. Welcome to another episode of the Mighty Code Coder. I'm Rob Fitzgerald, here to make you great and help you innovate. In this episode, we're going to find our brand. Yeah, Paul, we're going to find a brand for you. This is great. That's right. Before we even start to code, we need to find what is the brand going to be. A brand that can be carried out throughout all our social media, apps, websites. Don't worry, you don't have to be a design expert to make this work. It'll simply fall from the sky. No, really, it is fun to see what comes up during this exercise. And in the end, you'll have a brand that will follow you wherever you go. So for the Mighty Code Coder, I started with the brand. That's right. I will show you how I created a mood board for color and then a style tile for a brand. No, it's called, Paul, it's called a style tile, not a brand tile. It's called a style tile. So just chill, would you? This brand is carried out throughout all my media efforts, and you should do the same. It's actually a lot of fun, so let's get started. So in order to show you how I put the mood board together for this channel, I want to go ahead and show you the actual mood board. Okay, and the actual mood board is on is in a app called Adobe XD. Yeah, an Adobe product. Okay, and there it is. That's actually the style tile. That's what comes out of it. So those are the 5 colors. You see the colors up there? Those are the colors I'm going to use. And all those colors came from these pictures. The icons I want to use are those, the fonts, the buttons. All right. So you should come up with a total scheme of what it looks like. And if you handed your site off to somebody, they would know what you want. Or let's say you created the Facebook account and someone else is going to help you out with the Snapchat. You could give them the style tile and they could have all the same colors. See how that works? It's really nice. The pictures that we got the entire style from is what we're going to do today. This is called a mood board. This is actually the real mood board that I made several years ago for the Mighty Code Coder site. Okay, I found these pictures on a site called Unsplash. All right, there's free pictures, and you could Google words and colors and stuff like that, and certain pictures could come up, and whatever catches your eye, you put into this style tile, okay, or into this mood board. And so that's what I'm going to have you do today. Okay, so that's the mood of the Mighty Code Coder site. But let's go to Adobe XD for a better interpretation of what user interface and user experience means. Okay, so here is Adobe's site, and I just typed in Adobe xd.adobe.com. Okay, and this is their attempt at giving you some prototype style tools to try to make your design first before you code. This is great because if you code first, you're going to find you have to do a lot of work over because your client all of a sudden doesn't like something. You want their total acceptance of what they, even a prototype of how the app works before you code any of it. All right. And so XD has this website, and the first thing I saw was this information architecture. Okay, now this has probably been around now. We talked about yesterday we talked about CSS, and we took you to CSS Zen Card. Remember that? I hope you played around with that site. Very exciting. CSS was brought to you by magazine companies. It brought some zest into our websites. It used to be really text, some really boring text, and then it became, the websites are very exciting now. But they have called it information architecture. Now, I'm not sure if that's what magazines call it and if that term has been around for a while, but I guarantee you there's people that are responsible for information architecture at web companies. All right. And what it is it says information architecture, IA, not AI, IA, is the art and science of organizing and labeling the content of website, mobile applications, and other digital software to help support usability and findability. Okay, so you're making a website about you or your company, or your sport or your club, but what you're really making a website for is the person that's going to visit your website. And so you want your website to have great user experience. Okay, you want them to have a good time. Okay, so in order for me to get this down, to figure out how to do this, I took a class. Actually, the class was given by Adobe. Adobe, by the way, has free classes. They call it edX. If you go there, you could find all kinds of classes, and they had one on user interface and user design. They also had one on game design I took, so I took 2 of them. And I actually have them all listed on my robfitzgerald.com site. This is my portfolio site of work I've done. And it is this one right here is my UX UI class. It was called UX to UI Design Learning Journal. And I'm glad the professor that taught it was totally a free class. The guy that taught it made us do these journals, and I'm glad they did, because now you could share the journey with me. All right. And so we'll go into it now. Now, I was going to make a fictitious application, okay, an app, a phone app called Husky Tusky, and it was going to mimic my Husky Tech Media Player, which I'll go back and show you now. Remember the Husky Tech Media Player? Before YouTube, before there was a Mighty Code Coder, this is where I put all my information in my class. I didn't know where to put it. YouTube was, it wasn't a thing, but like the school had it blocked, and like that would be a terrible place to put things because kids can't even go into it. So I actually made my own website with my own videos and thought that was great, and it kind of put me behind a little bit. I didn't probably get the exposure like a lot of people have. Like they have 100 million views or 100 million subs because they were in early. So I'm in a little bit late, so I'm a little bit behind. But anyway, so I was going to make this Husky Tech Player into a website. In fact, this is the prototype of it right here that was done in XD. Okay, but I want to show you the class and show you the steps I went through in the class. So here is Husky Tusky. I feel like I have enough of these open. I should probably close some of them. Tab Control. All right, and so the professor made us do these learning journals, which I always want you guys to do, and it was done on Spark. So it's great, but I don't know if everyone has Spark, and I don't know if it's doable. Now our school does, but right now I don't know if you guys have a way to get in it or not. But it would be a great thing because look at how I could document exactly what we did. Here's a week 2 assignment. This is actually where you saw if your app had user experience problems. All right, so let's say this is your main feed, your main page right here. What Adobe taught me was that they want you to go through your next screens in circular patterns. Okay, so on this side, we're going to add videos to our app. And so we add videos, and you can add description, and you always want to end up back on this feed. And then on this side, you're actually going to view the video. And so you go this way and then add a comment to the video. And so this is the stuff that's kind of happening in YouTube. All right. So it always comes back to here. So your user never gets lost. You ever get on an app where you just get lost and you don't know what to click next? So they actually, that's what user experience is, a UX piece. Remember yesterday I was on the board trying to show you guys how to, section off your website and what would go in there. And they did a terrible job of thinking of what would go in there. All right. Well, they brainstorm all the categories of everything that you want on your website. All right. And you just go into a Google Doc or a Word doc and just type out everything that you think should be on your website. And then you'll take all those items. I actually took them and cut them out. And then I laid them out in areas. So you could see all these as either different links or different pages. Okay. So this is the title of the Husky Tech Player. I had a MOOC and student projects, and on my other one I had VAPA, which is our department name, and this one I put tutorials, which doesn't make sense because MOOC is tutorials. But then after that, these are the 6 projects I used to have my class do. Other things that might happen on your website is students might log in, they might have a file upload, and then you might have an admin log in, and an admin could do some stuff. So you try to organize it like that, and those would be either 4 different screens or 4 different pages of your website. So if you want to get your website totally dialed in, do something like that to organize it first before you do any code. After that, we did actually prototypes, okay? And so for CSP, you guys actually have to make an app. So this is very viable for you, all right? And so for you guys, I'm going to give you these templates and let you draw your app up. Now remember, you already started your app process. Remember, you're trying to find problems that you could solve digitally in your household, in your community, in the United States, in the world. Remember, you still got to try to find those things that you want to, the app you want to make. And then what I'm talking about is the app design. So I will hand out these sheets. In fact, I have one right here that I'm going to put in the extra credit area of Canvas, so you could download it and actually start drawing up your app. Okay, so yesterday I told you just get a blank piece of paper to write your website up. Now you have a template to start drawing up what your app should look like on a phone. Now this is an old phone. I know you guys don't have buttons anymore, but this has a button and you can start drawing it up. And that's what I did here. All right, with the MOOC. All right, so I went through it. And then the next step is prototyping. Now, right now in your adhesive, you're talking about sequencing and prototyping. Well, here you go. Here's what a prototype really is on an app. This is Nicole Salih that graduated last year. And when she was a freshman, I had her actually prototype this app to see if it works. Remember, I gave her no direction. Said, click through this app, even though it was just on paper, and see if you could get through it and see if there's any user experience problems. Let's see how she does. Okay, so she clicks on student project, and I told her anytime you go past that screen, this is this side of the app, and anytime you hit next, it'll be to your right, and anytime you hit back, you could go back. So here she is. She put in a video. She made a comment. She saved it. She knows when she hits back, it goes back. So this is all with no instruction. She's actually going through my app that hasn't even been coded yet. All right, so now she's adding a video. She's going to upload a video. All right, she's now going to write a description about that video. And now here's where she gets stuck. She doesn't know where it goes after she gets done with that. Now she should hit the save button that's in the upper right, but she doesn't, and she finally does. But that's user experience problem. Your users shouldn't be confused at what to hit next. Now, what I could do is actually put that save button down below after she gets done writing her description. All right. And so those are some of the user experiences that you try to fix before you start coding. Pretty cool, right? And then you do a wireframe prototype, which this is Adobe XD. And now I'm clicking through my app, making sure, doing the same thing Nicole did, making sure everything works okay and looks okay, so that I could actually hand this prototype off to my programmers and they could program it, okay? Remember, no code has been written so far. Okay, let's see if we get to the part where she struggled. Here she was gonna add a video, and look at that. Still, that save button up there, still she stumbled, okay? So I should fix that and put that save down somewhere where she thinks it's going to be. Or it might be just something that she has to learn. Okay, so that's a prototype. And if you want to go back and see this, you could go to robfitzgerald.com and click through it. But where we're going to go today is just the mood board. So we're week 4 into the class. I'm going to start you at week 4, where CSP, you guys should actually be doing week 1, 2, and 3 because you're creating an app. All right. So here's my mood board for Husky Tusky. These are the images that I got, that I came up with. And I knew I wanted to have elephants because elephants are supposedly have a great memory. And that's what videos are for, or my tutorials are for. So the kids remember how to do the project. So I know how to remember to do the project. And then I started thinking, I put in education. I saw this brilliant yellow. And I think it's yellow because number 2 pencils are always yellow. And then I like tech, so I see some tech and some Adobe stuff down over here. And these apartment buildings were orange. For some reason, I had an orange feeling about this site. All right, this is all before Mighty Code Coder. So the Husky Tusky had orange before Mighty Code Coder, and somehow I always go to that. But anyway, we want you to create this this mood board so that you can then make your style tile. Okay, so today, just the mood board. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do it. So the style tile came, these colors all up here, okay, came from these images. And it was just kind of a feeling. Let me show you what I mean. So if I go to Unsplash, okay, and remember the site I'm trying to make, I'm going to make a new channel called The Mighty Fish Fisherman, so I can put my fishing videos over there and not on your tech site. Though I tell you, I saw a YouTube video the other day of a fishing company that brought in their web programmer. So it jives. Somehow it jives, tech and fishing. It really does. But they're making a new fish app. That's really amazing. But anyway, actually, this is it right here. I was actually looking at it. It's actually, it's a website that the web developer created to find out when are the best days to go fishing. And so these are them, and has tides and the best time where when the fish are going to bite, and satellite maps. And he uses all kinds of APIs, if you know what APIs are, to create this. So tech and fishing do meet right here on this site. But here's how I came up with the pictures. All right, so if I'm making that Mighty Fish Fisherman site, I could type in fish. Okay, and this is the part where it's kind of personal. You're just going to scroll to a picture that you like, and you don't know why you like it. It's just something that hits you more than the other pictures. You know, like if you go to the Met, sometimes you see the Met is Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. I think that's what it means. Met stands for probably something else. But if you went there, you see beautiful art, and some pieces that would touch you more than others, or affect you more than others. And you don't know why. And sometimes it's alignment, sometimes it's color, sometimes it's some history in your past. All right, so this is very personal to you. So you go here and you find, and you just scroll down until something catches your attention. Okay, there's no right or wrong answer here. You just find something, and it might be, in this case, it might be the fish, a fish that looks like the ones I catch, or just some brilliant color or some alignment. And I'll just keep going. I already took that one. I like that yellow in there. Scroll down, and I already took this. This looks like a bass, a big mouth bass. And just looking for some brilliant. Here's I like both these pictures. But one, I like fly fishing, and two, I like this looks like an osprey. All right, so these are the bird, the predator that's just under an eagle. An eagle will take this guy's food, but he takes everybody else's. So these are really nice. I'm actually going to take this one. So if I click on this down arrow, it now downloads that. That's it. Now I could say thank you to the person that took the picture, or not. And I won't, at this time I won't. If I wanted to find something else, like, when I fish, I also want to film. So I go fish, film. You could actually add to stuff. And then I also could put in the colors I want. So I see, for some reason, I see red in this site rather than orange. So I'm going to go fish, film, red. And so it will have multiple things. So you see here's a camera, and it has some red in it. I don't do any fish. But you might find some that combine all three pieces. It has a lot of red in this. There's some fish. Okay, but no film. Okay, so maybe you keep going down and you just find something that kind of strikes your fancy, and a lot more the same fish pictures are coming back. All right, and I'm looking for something more red, fish, and someone filming fish maybe. I don't see it. Let me go down just a little bit more. Well, there's has nothing to do other than just red. Oh, look at this. Has some orange in it. I'll just take this guy. He's taking a picture of himself fishing, so that's pretty close. And it doesn't have red, but it's really an orangey red color, so I'll grab that one. Okay, so now that I got those pictures, what I can do is now go back to XD, and I already started the mood board for every class. So this is going to be where I'm at since going through this lecture with every class. You see how I have all the pictures from all the classes in there? Okay, and you probably know some of the pictures that we went by. So I now want to put your pictures that I just downloaded into my mood board. So I will come in here and I will grab these pictures. See, here it is right here. You know, I found out last class is that you can actually take the picture right from Unsplash. And maybe some of you guys already knew that and you're screaming at me. Just take it. All right, so I could just put it in there, and I'll make it a little bit smaller. Just kind of fit it in. That looks pretty good. And then I could two-finger click my mouse pad and send it backwards. And so it'll go back behind that other one. There you go. So that looks pretty good. All right, and then let me grab that other one. Here's this one. And let me fit that in here. Make this real small because I only have a small section left. Okay, and it looks like I'm just trying to get that rod, maybe the fish in there too. Make it small, make it really small. Okay, and I'm going to make this one bigger so that I fill up the rest here. And I'm going to scoot it over, scoot this one up, put this one backwards till it goes behind that other one. There we go. And I don't really have a lot of film in here, so I'm going to bring this one down to make sure I show the camera. All right, so just something like that. And so that has a lot of colors in it. And then I'm going to try to get the colors from this mood. So first thing, I could analyze it and see, gosh, does it have the feeling, the mood that I want? I feel like it's maybe not enough tech. Maybe I need some SUP stuff, you know, some stand-up paddleboard stuff. You know, so I could go back into Unsplash and do that and say I want stand-up paddleboard. Okay, there it is. Maybe get something like that. And I'll show you that you can actually take this picture. Okay, here's a person right here. I'll take it from here. And you could just grab it right from here and drag it into XD and just switch that picture out. I kind of like that picture that was there, so let's undo that. Okay, and so let's switch out this picture. Too much orange, so we'll put it here, and we'll kind of get him over here a little bit. Okay, so you can just put pictures in right from Unsplash and start making your scene a little bit better. Okay, I feel like this one needs to be smaller. Okay, so there's your mood board. And once you like that, you're going to use XD or you're going to use any other program to try to find colors. All right, what do I mean? Basically, if I wanted to make a button and I wanted that button to come somewhere from the mood of this board, let's say like from this fish right here. Okay, and I like the color of that. It really has a sea color. I could click on the fill. Now I'm clicked on this button right here. I could take this highlighter and I could scroll into that fish and find a blue that I like. And I kind of like this color blue. And that button now becomes blue. That button not only becomes blue, there is a number for that blue, 03647F. I could take that blue into Home Depot and tell them I'm making a booth for a fair, and I want my brand to come with me, and I want this color paint so I could paint the booth my brand. All right, so that's what you're doing. You're trying to find a brand, and when you get to your style tile, you'll see if those colors work. Now, this is really just, again, a guideline, because if you look at the style tile for the Mighty Code Coder, you don't see any orange in there, do you? All right, because when you finally go to apply this, the colors you pick may not show up very good. So I remember when I was making this studio, the background was dark and my hair was disappearing, so it looked like I had no hair. So you start making a little adjustment. So it's kind of a guideline. The style tile is a little bit of a guideline to your website. But this is how you start your website. This is how you start your web page. And so today I just want you to work on that style tile. Download 15, 20 pictures. Make your mood board. Remember, your mood board is going to be 1920 by 480. All right. So let me see if I could click the background and make sure I could get that. There it is. Okay, so remember the board is 1920 by 1080. So if you make that in Spark or if you make that in Google Docs, you could make a triangle or make a rectangle and make sure it's those dimensions. And so the rest of the class, I know we have six minutes left. I'll let you go and try that. And if you have any questions, put them into the comment section and have a good time with your mood board. That does it for this episode. Hope that you enjoyed it. Remember, always trying to make you great and help you innovate. So until next time, what, Paul? Right. Okay. And if you have questions, then leave comments below and go to the website at www.themightycodecoder.com or find me at Twitter at mightycodecoder. Thank you for watching.